Hey, this is Vashti from Vashti's house. Hope you're having a great day. So when my son was young, this is a mom talk, by the way, and when my son was young, he was obsessed with spiders, my son Joshua. And so for his birthday one year, we got him his pet tarantula. And, for all those people that are scared of spiders, it was a little weird at first, but the fact is that he actually ended up loving that spider. And at first he named him Miss C, C standing for carnivore. But when we found out it was actually a male tarantula, he changed it to Mr. T, Mr. Tarantula. So we ended up really getting used to Mr. T, and Joshua knew how to handle Mr. T, how to interact with Mr. T. And because Joshua loved Mr. T, we all loved Mr. T. And in his confidence of handling Mr. T, we all became confident. So we'd let Mr. T walk on our arms. Josh would let Mr. T walk on his face. I was never quite there, but we would hold and interact with Mr. T, and we loved him. And of course, we enjoyed freaking other people out that would come to the house, and we'd take out Mr. T. But one day, Mr. T, we were, he was in his cage, and we went in his aquarium to grab him. Joshua went to grab him, and he went up like this. And we knew, Josh had already told us, he's not going to bite you. He's not going to, unless he acts defensive. If he acts defensive, put him down right away, or just don't harass him. Put him down. But he's just letting you know that he is getting agitated. So he did that right away. And we thought it was weird. We were like, oh my gosh, is he okay? And all through the day, he wouldn't let us get near him. He was agitated. He was angry. And we were thinking, like, he must be sick. I wonder what's wrong. But it was like a completely different tarantula. Anyway, this went on for a couple of days, and finally one morning, and we were thinking, do we take him to tarantula doctor? Anyway, one morning we woke up, and there in this aquarium was a absolutely stiff, frozen Mr. T. But when we looked a little bit closer, it actually wasn't Mr. T. It was just his shell. The shell was left sitting in the aquarium by itself. And out from under the his little, structure, out Mr. T crawled, and he was way bigger. The reason he was so agitated was because he was getting ready to shed that extra skin, that outside skin. I don't know the scientific name for it. And he was so agitated, so irritated, because he had actually grown inside of that skin, and he was stuck. Once he crawled out of it, he was already bigger. It wasn't that he was already bigger, and he stretched his little arms and his little legs or whatever, and put our hand in there, and he walked up on our hand, and Joshua put his hand in there, and he walked up on Joshua's hand. And Mr. T was not only bigger, he was different colors. It was an exciting thing to watch. And there in the cage was the old Mr. T. The reason I'm telling you this is because there are times in our life when we start feeling agitated, irritated, annoyed. And, it's usually a very specific kind of annoyance. We're very, very angry all of a sudden. We don't know why. We're very emotional, sad all the time, and we don't know why, just crying. Or we suddenly get very jealous or filled with just envy or jealousy. Or sometimes, we feel extremely shameful or filled with regret and shame, and it's a burden. When we feel burdened with these things, it is because we have actually grown inside, and it's time to let those things go. And so the next time you're feeling extremely jealous of somebody, extremely insecure, extremely enraged, extremely shameful, or feeling burdensome with regret, whatever it is, lonely, just buried and deep in loneliness, it is because that thing is getting ready to leave, and it's time to let it go. And maybe get to the root of it, but let that loneliness go. Let that regret go. Let it shed, because underneath you no longer want it. Your body is telling you you don't want this anymore. Jealousy, let it go. Your physical body is telling you we're done carrying that. I'm not saying don't medicate yourself, but don't do that instead of letting it go. Don't squish it down. No, let it go. Let yourself emerge. Let that skeleton lay there and look at yourself and see what the new you, the grown you, the released you looks like. Something to think about, and something to look forward to. This is Vashti with Vashti's House. Hope you're having a great day and make yourself at home.